Welcome, everybody. We're going to be doing I think Paul put it in as preseason, but I'm going to call it opening day podcast. So we're going to have the opening day podcast. We're going to have with us today, we're going to have, of course, Zeus, the commish. He was going to be with us today. He's here with us. We're going to also have the GM for Huron, and as well with him is the Scrapple's GM as well. Welcome everybody.
Yeah, welcome,
What's up?
Kyle. Welcome, Michael.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, super excited to be doing this with you guys. I appreciate you spending your time here to go over the league and talk about your teams, talk about your divisions, and your impression on everybody else. And thanks again, Chris, for hosting this. Always great to have you guys spend time and towards the league. So excited to do this. Excited to look at our 2006 season. We've been underway for a while now, right? So we've got a little history now, and it's going to be cool to see where everybody's at now as we go midway through the decade. So yeah, why don't we lead things off like we usually do, right? With the champion, and our 2005 TBL champion last year, right, was Tim and the Montreal Machine. So why don't we take a look at Montreal's team?
Let's take a gander.
And Kyle, this is your division, the Sapphire division. So why don't you lead things off? What do you think of Tim's team here going into the 2006 season?
I mean, personally, I think it's pretty good. If you look at their lineup, they have a lot of standout guys, just all around pretty good. Like no one is elite. I guess Steve Moss, his bat's pretty ridiculous, but besides that, it's pretty well rounded. Like there's no sad spots in this lineup. Even Eli Garcia, he put up, his bat's probably not great, but that catcher ability at 65 in this league is pretty. That's well above average when people are throwing out Kyle Schwarber's at catcher. You know what I mean? So offensively, pretty well rounded, pretty good.
Yeah, I have to say, announcing the championship series with you, seeing guys like Paul Tizard out there, just his name just being out there all the time. Forget the other guy as well. That definitely was Steve Moss and I think Villarreal as well.
Yeah, he's got a lot of returning guys at the heart of his lineup, right? And he's off to a pretty hot start. And his pitching is really good to start the season, and it was really good last year too. So I think he's going to continue to be a pretty strong team this year.
Yeah, I agree. Make another run at it.
I'm trying to see here too. There's like a way to see their off season, right? Like how did they do anything this off season?
I can't remember. Didn't we take pictures and you save it?
Yeah, I thought there's another way, but that's okay. Yeah. Yeah, Montreal, like I can remember just a couple seasons ago, like they were the only team in the division with any type of prospect. Like everybody sold in 2001 to like compete really hard. So I think they're going to continue to be competitive for a while.
Yeah, they really zigged when the whole division zagged. So
Yeah.
I mean, myself, Philadelphia, I think New York also kind of sold out there for a while, and you can really tell because we're all kind of just average at best, and he's just running away with it so far already.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think this is a really scary team, especially that bullpen. Whenever they got a lead in the playoffs, it was just hard to score anything. They have all 70, 80 rated guys in that bullpen. They have two lefty starters, which kind of messed me up. They added another one this offseason, John Hill, which was one of their signings. So yeah, I think they're really well balanced. They have righties, they have lefties. If they get a lead, they're probably going to win.
Yeah, agreed. We'll see what the adjustment to the league does here, but but for sure, yeah, they're going to be a dominant team. And looking at like some of their guys that the seasons they had last year, like Paul Tizzard, Steve Moss, Penalver, they're 2, 3, 4. I'll put up like 5+ WAR. So just a really good core.
Yeah, Penlever as well. Good old Vinny.
So Tim didn't want to do the championship podcast, and that's totally cool. I never want to pressure anybody to do anything, but he said he didn't want to take credit for the win because it wasn't really his team. But that's not true. I think he gets all the credit, right? Like,
100%.
I mean, the GMs before you may have built a foundation, but you
he
had
definitely
a nice
built a
playoff run there, and yeah, he took down Michael, which like had a pretty juggernaut of a team last year. So
yeah.
I think you definitely get maybe not 100% of the credit, right? But you get like the majority of the credit. So so congratulations again to you for sure for winning that championship.
Yeah, big
Yeah, I
congrats.
think it's
there.
hard to adjust to a new league.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like the like instinct when you join a new league is to like sell everyone that's not yours, but he didn't do that, which is a statement in itself.
I think the GM before him put him in very good hands, so made it very easy decision for him, I believe.
Yeah, well, the GM before him has definitely helped out with his farm system. And like I said, Montreal has been building. So like what he has on the field right now, this core, he could, if he gets creative, ship some of these pieces off for good assets and keep this thing going for a minute. He's got a really good catcher coming up right now. He's got a really good corner outfielder coming up right now in terms of his prospects.
Yeah, like
that are really close if they're not already. Oh, they're already on the team. They're already on the team. Are these guys playing? Yeah. Okay. So he's got two rookies that are just like studs this year who weren't even part of the championship team last year. So Travis Plath and Tom Larson is the other one.
So
that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Hey, I won a championship, and here's two like blue potential prospects that are going to make their debut this year. So
yeah, no, very scary team.
I've got another rookie here, Jorge Cotto. Looks pretty good. No gap, but
who needs gap?
Anyways.
Really?
Yeah. Any last thoughts, gentlemen, on our reigning champion Montreal Machine?
Just great job. Take credit for it.
Yeah, and I hope if I make the championship that I don't see them and I see a different team.
All right. Who finished in second place last year in the Sapphire?
That would be Somerville.
Somerville. Last time Somerville finished second place, I didn't remember that, so I'm glad we're highlighting this, recognizing this. JR's been a pretty good GM since joining the league, and I've continuously undercredited him, and then he makes amazing runs and has awesome seasons. I feel like he was 12 games under 500 last year, and then just took off. I think he was maybe the best team after the All-Star break. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
if those are, don't fact check me on any of that, but it's close to accurate.
He was like towards the bottom of the bracket, and then I think towards the end of the season, just went lights out.
We did a 2-week, or what was it? A 2-month in podcast after a week last year. And he had lost like 14 straight games, and I just wrote him off as dead. And then he came back and took the second seed in the division. So he's done a great job on multiple seasons. But if history tells me something, right, like this is the thing I've noticed, he makes the playoffs, he misses the playoffs, he makes the playoffs, he misses the playoffs, he makes the playoffs. So he's definitely going to miss the playoffs this year. That's my prediction.
You sticking with that one? Right there, sticking
I don't
with
know.
that take?
So I'm thinking, you want to check his team out?
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
He's starting off at fifth in the division so far. So
yeah, it's too early to decide anything.
Yeah.
Like, I think he was like 30 and 42 last year or something like that. Crazy. Running a 6-man rotation, that's kind of interesting.
Love a 6-man. It's great. But I think it's because no one's really that good besides his ace, Mark Sperry.
Yeah.
I guess Burge is pretty solid too,
Yeah.
but after that it kind of dips a little bit.
Yeah, definitely not the deepest pitching rotations. His bullpen's not terrible, but some young guys in there, so maybe still developing. He just traded for Jim Call, another young guy, I think, right? Or he just traded him away? Am I wrong about that? Oh, never mind. There's another guy that got traded named Sam Call. I'm just getting my names mixed up.
Good call.
What are your
Wow,
guys'
love
thoughts
that
on
pun.
this team?
Thanks, man. That's what I'm here for. But looking at Somerville, his bats, he's like a defense first kind of guy. It looks like.
Yeah,
His starting shortstop is Julio Fria, who like won't light up the stat line, but might be one of the better shortstops in the league, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
He had on base of 279 and still had like an almost a 2 WAR last year, which is saying something.
He's on pace for 3.8 right now.
Small sample size and all.
Yeah. I take it all into consideration.
yeah. Defense of that position feels so important, and just finding someone who's somewhat competent with a bat to me can be really challenging sometimes. So I definitely think he's a good player.
That's what I try and run for in a shortstop.
The only thing that kind of worries me about Fria is he is a little injury prone. He's never had like a serious injury, but just tick, 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 right? So
But then he still has like Salvador Figueroa back there. I guess his arm's pretty terrible though, so he's a second baseman, but his range is super solid.
yeah, no, you're right. He definitely looks like he prioritizes that defense.
I guess when you're
His
running out Justin Melville every 6 days, that you kind of need to, I guess.
yeah.
I like the top of their rotation. I think it will play well, especially with the defense. I'm curious about them using the 6-man rotation and giving Roger Cruz like a turn but maybe it's to limit injuries. So
Yeah.
if I was them, I would want to get like their top 3 starters as many starts as possible. But
Yeah, because like, their top 3 are pretty solid, and I guess Dan Adams isn't bad as like a number 4 guy, but it does dip off. So maybe it's just like skip a man if he has like a matchup. But I guess Melville's his only lefty, so I guess he might need that from time to time. But I don't know. I like a
And
6-man.
the thing about
I'm
Somerville
biased.
too, if you look at their park, they're a hard place to hit a home run in, and he rocks pretty much all ground ball pitchers, or extreme ground ball pitchers. So he's definitely about focusing on that defense, keeping it in the ballpark, and trying to play low scoring games. I'm guessing.
I wonder if that's why he has some like fluctuation in playoff appearances. Is like when luck's a little bit on his side, he does really well, and then when like the ball just like falls in from time to time, it kind of gets away from him.
Yeah, maybe. All right. I don't know. Anything in his system that's of interest? Do you have anybody up and coming?
You got
Any
Dennis
rookies
Roy.
from this year? Yeah, looks like Dennis Hoy is starting to develop a little bit. He looks pretty good in terms of a bat, at least, and not a bad outfielder as well. You could play the core.
What's the position in outfield that anybody you can hide almost anybody? So left field.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even say you're hiding him, right? Well, at least, I mean, I don't know where your scout has him at. I've got him at 55, 50, 50 in
Yeah, he's
terms
a
of
left
defensive
fielder.
ratings. Yeah.
Yeah, but his park, you might need a little bit more range in the outfield if it's such like a big outfield.
That's true, but if that contact comes in, I'm going to take this guy in left or right field.
I'd put him
I
in
think
left.
he could hit. But what do I know? I'm just a terrible GM in last place.
Yeah.
Um,
We all know.
yeah, I don't
I'd be
know. He's
surprised
got.
if he finished last.
Say that again.
I'd be surprised if he finished last. I know the preseason predictions weren't a fan, but
Oh, I
I
I
disagree.
appreciate that. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It all depends if Ben Blackwell's on the team, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're not in the Fire Conference because we're we're not winners again, Michael. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I
Thanks for
tried.
thanks for ruining our
bad.
dreams.
Yeah, we could be starting with your team today, Michael, but no, I'm just kidding. But 25 top 500 prospects, so maybe some of these guys really dev up and become superstars, and he's got some depth in his system. So, I don't know. JR's done a good job. What do you guys think he's going to do this year? Do you think this team's looking good? Looking bad?
I
Looking
think,
mediocre?
judging him by history, he's gonna just
You're
be.
gonna agree with me? Miss the
Yeah,
playoffs.
he's gonna miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think it'll be the first
Yeah.
team out, is my prediction.
All right.
Yeah, I think he'll be right on the bubble. I think it's hard to make the playoffs in Sapphire because they might only get 2 teams. Jade is very, very strong.
It's true. Yeah, Jade is very
I
strong
think
this year.
I think there's a few teams that will be on the bubble in Sapphire, and Somerville is one of them between them, Baltimore and New York.
Okay. All right. Well, very cool. Let's take a look at the next team. I think the next team up in the division last year was.
See if you get it right.
I honestly don't know.
You don't know? It was
No,
Philly.
my bad. Philly got third last year. I do remember. I think Philly won like 7 in a row to end the season.
Yeah,
or
we thought
something.
they had a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Dan messaged me about his team, and he was pretty clear that his team isn't going to be very good this year, at least under his expectations. He's still got Jim Green. He also said this might be the season that Jim Green moves to another organization. So a little tidbit for anybody who's listening and is on the hunt for a superstar. Jim Green might be available in a few weeks if you're staying active.
He's really good.
He is really good. He's a multi-time MVP, right? 2-time MVP. He's 32. He puts up like 10 WAR season. That's pretty good. Like
Yeah,
on average.
consistently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
So, but Dan's team, I think, is lacking pitching right now, and they haven't made the playoffs since 2002. So, even though they were close last year.
It kind of remind me of the Angels with Mike Trout, because Jim Green is just so good, but I don't know that he's surrounded with enough to make the
Yeah.
playoffs.
And George
Yeah.
Reed is pretty awesome, but it does kind of his pitching does drop off pretty steep after that stud.
George Reed is amazing. I mean, I feel like that guy's always top 3 Cy Young in my opinion, or pitcher of the year, I should say.
Yeah, he's got a bad starter pitting at the number 5 spot.
Oh yeah, David Gardner's not great.
I mean, it is funny. I feel like Philly one year didn't make the playoffs, but they had pitcher of the year in George Reed. They had MVP in Jim Green, and they had closer of the year in Ryan Jordan down there. So he's got amazing pieces. So if he does want to flip that switch and do the rebuild, he's gonna pull in some assets, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's doing the fantasy baseball like stars and studs. Studs and duds. There it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, up to a slow start. So we'll see what happens by the end of the week and where Dan's sitting with his team and what he's deciding to do. Yeah, is there anybody else on his team that's of any value?
Rico, it's just like third best player. What it says. Franklin
50
Rico.
wins, career wins over there.
Franklin Rico. Oof.
George Jedediah Reed. 27 years old, George Reed. Click into George. Let's take a look.
Hey, he's Wow.
Yeah,
5 good
he's
pitchers.
ridiculous.
20th overall. Late first rounder, skill pick. All right, yeah. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Anything
I think
anything else
he's right.
about
I think
Philly?
he's gonna have a bad team this year.
Yeah, when he's calling it himself, I think I'll just agree and not offend
Yeah.
anybody and say he's gonna miss the playoffs.
Yeah, Dan, your team's gonna suck this year. I think we'll all be anticipating the bidding war for Jim Green.
Yeah, for a team that probably won't make the playoffs, he might be able to alter the league more than anyone else.
Yeah,
That's
I wonder
true.
if any of these guys are locked under NTC no trade clauses, or if they've
Let's check out Jim Green.
just got
See him.
free reign.
You'd
I
consider.
think it would say under. Oh, yeah, okay. So he's got a no trade clause, but he's got some trade partners there.
So
So yeah, Dan's system's pretty barren. He's got some prospects, but they're all super young and underdeveloped. So they might not be anything, you know. So he is on that rebuild cusp. I think that's what I'd say about the Eagles.
I agree.
Any
Still
last
trying.
will
thoughts
say-
before we? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say go Birds just because the Eagles, but that's it.
All right, on to the next team. I want to say fourth place was Baltimore, but I'm guessing it might have been New York. Was it New York?
Let's see. Fourth place. What was your guess
Yeah.
again?
It was New York.
It's New York.
Yeah, that was my guess.
They finished 81 and 81 last year. At a cool
Okay.
500.
Okay. Yep. So definitely like a
Love to see it.
disappointing season for Matt last season because
Yeah, because they was
coming
coming
off
off
a championship. Yeah. Coming off a championship, and then he made a bunch of huge deadline moves, including like a giant trade with Denver, and then missed, right? So
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah, let's take a look at him. Yeah. Yell at me here. So what do you think? What do you think, Paul?
What do you think? I mean, Enrique Muniz, he's said. I mean, a lot of these guys are kind of carryovers from his championship season. At least his top 3 guys, I think, right? Have they all been in
Yeah.
New York a long time? Smith has, I know, Muniz. I think Matt Johnson has as well. Although Matt Johnson might have been a trade. Can't recall.
Yeah,
A
he
couple
traded with
years ago.
Indy.
Traded with
Yeah.
Indy.
Oh no, that was last year. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Muniz is on his team, and yeah. Right.
Yeah, some good hitters in
And he
New York.
traded for Downing as well. So
Let's see Armando Barboza. I want to see the 3rd ranked shortstop in the league here.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's not a shortstop.
No, not at all. No, he's a
No.
he's a second baseman.
he's a left fielder probably. Realistically.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, I mean he's 50-50, 60 out there in left, so
Yeah, you could do that.
that's where I would put him probably.
I mean, he hits lefties really, really well. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good bars.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He has a lot of older dudes that are like locked up for a bit, so it might be like the last run.
Yeah.
Like his top 6 guys are on like 2 or 3 year deals at this point, so they're all 30 and above.
Yeah, that's a good catch. Yeah. I mean, he's pretty much locked into who he is right now, right? Like I don't think
Yeah.
he's moving some of these contracts either.
No,
I mean,
does he have?
maybe someone wants to gamble, but
See, does he have any room to make? He has 11 million, which isn't terrible if he wants to like take on some contract. But he probably is one of the better teams in the division, realistically.
Yeah, his team's definitely good, right? Like, it's not a bad team.
It's not
He's
a
got
bad
some.
team at all.
No.
I would agree. Like his starting rotation is really good. I think Lopez, is definitely getting to that age where you start to worry, but I think he's still one of the better pitchers in the league. We'll see. I mean, he definitely took a huge decline last year. Rosario took a huge decline last year as well. So interesting. Hopefully they can straighten it out because they've been off to a slow start.
Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
See anybody coming up?
No, nobody really. His top three are Antonio Reyes, Chris Parnham.
Chris Parham's not that far away, maybe, but probably not this year.
No, definitely not.
No. So, I mean, he is who he is at this point, I guess. Someone else said earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. I think his identity is pretty locked in. I think I think you're right. I think he's going to be a competitive team. He's got really strong pieces. He's definitely more competitive than Philly. That's for sure. And
that bar
not as good as Montreal. But would you take this team or would you take Somerville? Right?
This team for sure. I think.
I'd take this team over Somerville.
I feel like I'd say that as well. So,
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they make the playoffs as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of elite talent. I mean, they have some issues with depth and they're on the older side, but there's a lot of really good players on this team.
Yeah.
One last job for all the old guys.
They're all veterans, so.
Yeah. Experienced.
I do believe Matt's intention is to compete this year as well. Just based off of some of his communications, I think he's hoping to maybe add a piece at the deadline this year and go all in and try to get a good playoff push going. So, yeah. Any last thoughts on any of these players or this team?
I think it's a great team. It's going to be definitely playoff worthy. It's whether it's going to be a wild card or second place. That's the question.
Well, we were just saying though, wild card may not come out of this division.
It could.
Yeah, it's fair. It could. We've been wrong before. We've been very wrong before. Like the whole Topaz last year. So, all right, on to the next team. Next team is that's going to be Baltimore.
Yeah, you are correct.
All right, let's take a look at Steve's Admirals here. And finally out from under the contracts of a few players, right? Chris Hanna's gone. I forget who else was a perennial, just bench warmer, injured list warmer for him. But I think he's gotten through some of that. So now it's time to start to build around something healthy and see if he can get into the playoffs. He doesn't seem too optimistic for Simmons.
No.
But I haven't known Steve to be super optimistic about anything yet so far. But we'll see. Maybe this is the year.
Maybe.
I mean, I think we all love Jason Kohler, right? This guy's stud. Did he win MVP 2 years ago? He won Rookie of the Year, right?
Yeah,
he did win MVP
as well. 2004 MVP.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. He's really good. His bats are solid, even, his pitching could probably use some help. But he's my favorite pitcher in the league, Tim Holdren. He's absurd
I like Tim
fun.
Holdren a lot. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Strikeout, look at that, 288 strikeouts last year. Damn.
Yeah. He's absurd.
That is a great signing. Hopefully he turns it around because it's definitely a shit start for him. 3 starts, he has 5 innings pitched. You get injured.
It's not great.
I
Let's
think I
hope not.
saw it on the chat when you were simming. He forgot to shut off.
Oh, right, his pitch count. Yeah, that's
That'll do it.
unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
That'll explain 5
Okay.
innings.
Yeah, 7-6 though, not a terrible start. It could be worse, like 2-14. So, yeah. Did he add anybody else? I feel like he had a couple big signings in the offseason. Let me look. Let me look at the big league news here real quick. Sure, I posted all this shit, right? Yeah, Tim Holdren was the big one. 16 million a year. That's a pretty good contract for that pitcher, I think.
Pretty reasonable, for sure.
Yeah. He signed this young guy, Sakan Matsumara, for 5 years. This was one of those, guys that just populate into the game. Yeah, international guys that look pretty good. I was bidding against him for this guy. He might be in AAA, to be honest.
No, he's on the major league roster.
Oh, is he? He's just not starting.
Yeah, he's not looking great so far in 16 at bats, but
yeah, but I don't know. I like the signing. $6 million a year. If he works out,
it's not bad.
it's a great
It seems
signing.
pretty.
Like this guy right here, Sakan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's not fully developed. I might keep him in AAA, but we'll see what Steve does with him and how he develops.
He's not quite ready yet, I don't think. But
I don't like when I see the contact that far off, like 10 points.
Yeah, I have him at 15 points, but that's
okay. Yeah.
Play in your hand.
Oh well. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
We know. Yeah. Tough. It's tough to tell this team. I don't want to jinx and say
He has some nice prospects coming up too. So could be a first. If he wants to make some moves at the deadline, he has some pieces at least.
Yeah, it's a guy that's kind of close too. That Fred Cox right here. If those that I and avoid K really kicks in, he's gonna be a hell of a player.
Is he in AAA right now? Oh, A+. Damn. Steve knows things I don't, I think. I'm not good at developing players. I really like John Layer on this team too as a center fielder. Like the dude's got really good bars and can play defense at least.
And he's a captain, which is nice.
Yeah, and he's 25. So
Damn.
Kohler's really young as well. They're both really young. So I actually like Steve's team a lot. He says he wants to quit a lot over some things, and hopefully he's just joking because I think his team is like close, right? Like it's always close, and I think he just needs like some move to get him over the hump and get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he snuck into the playoffs, and then at that point he's got to, win a few more games, and then you're in the World Series or whatever we call it here.
Yeah. Go out and get Ben Blackwell at the deadline, dude.
Yeah. There's a lot to be optimistic about here in Baltimore.
Yeah. I think he's got a really strong offense. I really like his bullpen. I think right now, he might be the first team to miss the playoffs. But if he gets just 1 or 2 starters, I think he could be one of the best teams in this division.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying, like, I feel like a deadline move. I mean, it could always backfire, right? We've seen it backfire in a couple teams over the first few seasons, but like that deadline move could be enough to get you 1 or 2 wins to get you in. Or if someone else makes a deadline move and you don't, then they may get in. I'm trying to promote gambling here. Like it's cool. Yeah, just take a chance.
And this podcast is brought to you by DraftKings.
Were you over here? Were you colluding also for giving him Ben Blackwell for a trade deadline move or something like that?
Yeah, we're gonna review the tapes after the trade's done at the end of the season.
I think this is colluding here.
Yep. Well, I mean, if Ben Blackwell's on the market, which I don't know if he is, and if Jim Green's on the market, which I don't know if he is, that's two-time MVPs on the market this season. Might be some
Big
crazy
deadline.
shit.
Big
Yeah.
deadline.
Wow, big moves.
All right. Baltimore's system here. Kind of like some of the systems we've looked at. No one really close, right? Like, I mean, he's got some.
Yeah, Fred Cox is, I think, his closest right now, and he looks amazing to me. I like that guy.
I wasn't even looking at the right system. Thanks. Yeah, Fred Cox does look pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, Nick Curtis might be up this year for him if he needs like another arm out there to throw a guy out there. So that's kind of nice. Dude had a 5
Yeah.
WAR in AAA last year. So not that he's great, but he's
yeah.
might be better than what he's throwing out there at number 5.
Fill some stuff.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing about Steve's teams too, right? They've been like perennial championship teams at like the AAA, AA level. So he's got prospects. He's got like, people who are at least competing well at that level. So maybe some depth to pull up at the end of the season. Anyways, last thoughts on Baltimore and Steve, or should we move on to the next team?
Yeah, I don't want to jinx them or say anything about this team. Just give it preseason predictions, and then I'll let jinx it from there, so I don't have to think about
Cautiously optimistic.
it.
I'm very optimistic for Steve. Since he won't be, I will be for him.
There you go. All right. Well, that brings us to our 6th place team. I think the Boston Boom. Did Boston finished 6th last year?
They sure did.
All right. Let's take a look at Jack's team. Jack's team, I think he's finally understood he's in the rebuild mode because his team was really bad last year, and he's got one of the top systems now. Like, so he's got prospects coming.
Yeah.
And I think he's got some picks this season too that he's going to be spending. So I think things will turn around eventually, but right now it might be a dark day in the Boston Harbor.
Another couple picks coming out up at him next year. To look forward to, I guess.
I mean, his pitching staff's like pretty empty, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's got. Yeah, he's got. Yeah. Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah, that's not good. That was scary to look at. Whew. That was scary.
He's got, I think one of the things he's doing right, he's got a lot of really good personality guys on his team right now. High work ethic. Just guys that'll maybe change the culture as his prospects come up and surround these part-time players.
Like, I think his best player on his team is Chris Grant.
Like, literally, like, I want to say like 80% of his players have like high work ethic or
that's nice.
Green personalities. So
if you're gonna be bad, you should be happy and bad.
Yeah, no, I think it's clearly the plan. Like, he's not trying to win this season. I think he was in that dog fight in the first few seasons with all those teams. Like,
yeah, he was. He had a good team in the first couple seasons. You're correct. Yeah, I think
he had a good offense and terrible pitching.
Exactly, he had zero pitching.
Yeah, but he thought he could compete, and that was a mistake, and that put him back, right? So now we're in 2006, and he's not competitive. But like in a couple of years now, he's on the right path. So
he's getting there. And Chris Grant's fun. I mean, as far as shortstops go, he's like elite at shortstop, which is super, valuable if he wants to make a move.
100%. He can get assets for Chris Grant.
Yeah, I think it's what he probably should be doing at this point.
He's probably the best defensive shortstop in the game, probably.
Yeah. I don't think he has a no trade clause either. So.
Yeah, but besides that, his offense is pretty rough.
Yeah.
He does have the number 1 ranked prospect in
Matt Clark.
He does. He made a great pick last year. I feel like someone was like, I wouldn't have taken Matt Clark number 1, but it turned out to be the top overall, so can't argue.
Yeah, if all those.
Yeah, he's good.
He's got 2 top 10 prospects. He'll probably get another very high draft pick for next year. And he doesn't have a lot of bad money on the books. I think his salary is last or dead to last.
Yeah,
So.
I think he got rid of a lot of his bad money. I think he
Mhm.
had was that I think the guy you picked up, Michael Layer, I can't pronounce his name.
Learfield?
Yeah, there you go.
Lin-
That's the guy. Yeah,
Linio? I don't know.
Yeah, he paid him like $40 million or something like that.
Mm,
So
yeah.
so he had some
I
really
think he
bad
opted out.
contracts. Yeah. And he also
That's
had Ricardo
crazy.
Box as well a couple years ago as well, and he was giving
Mm.
him some ungodly. I mean, rightfully so. Ricardo Box should get that money, but
Well, he had some really terrible personalities when he first.
yeah, he did.
Like some good hitters that were like disruptive, and they all left eventually, but or have been shipped away. But no, like I like what he's doing right now. I think he's got a lot of good prospects. I think he's a little ways away, but I think he's in good shape.
Yeah, he'll get there. I like what he's doing as well.
Yeah, he's doing it the right way. I mean, if you're gonna be bad, just be bad, I guess, and get stuff for your guys.
Be happy, bad, and get stuff. Yeah.
Get that tattooed on my body. Big back piece.
Yeah. Any last thoughts there?
I'm good.
All right.
Who does that bring us to, Kyle?
I don't know, man. Who does it bring us to? I assume it's
Kyle,
me. The
I think it
Scrap
brings us to
Boys.
the Scrapples.
Hell
The
yeah.
Scrap Boys, yeah.
I love
Yeah.
this. Love this logo.
Well, I'm gonna let
thank you.
I'm gonna let you take it away, sir.
We're also really bad. We went
Yeah.
hard the first few seasons. It just didn't work out. Made it to the championship series twice, lost to Atlanta twice, and then just kind of, as the wheel turns, you go from good to bad, and we are currently pretty bad. But we got some fun guys. Like Tony Aponte is fast, and that's cool. Sell some jerseys with him. That's it though. Elijah Porter's cool. He's fun and 26. What? That's crazy. But that's it, man. We're pretty in the doldrums here in Lehigh Valley,
Yeah. I don't hate Ryan Wilson. His statistics suck for some reason, but I feel like his bars aren't terrible. Not sure what's up there. He's a captain, right?
Yeah. Captain Gold Glover. He's
Yeah,
he's
I like
nice.
him as well.
OSA
Yeah.
likes him a lot better than my head scout, though, now that I look at it.
What was that?
OSA likes him a little better than my head scout, now that I look at him.
My scout's about the same as OSA, but he's, as far as defensive center fielders go, I think he's one of the better
sure.
ones. So
Yep.
He's
That's
fast, but
another
he can't run the
difference
base or
between-
steal.
Yeah, I was
he's
like-
one of those,
Okay,
where it's like his speed's so fast, but
Just
just not terrible first step.
I do think it helps if they have high gap and they're speedy. It seems like those types of players do really well.
Yeah, for sure. So, but he's, been playing there every day for the next few years as we kind of rebuild.
Yeah,
So-
and you have a couple of pieces that you could chip off if they perform well enough, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of like fringe pieces that are gonna have to tie statistics with it.
right. Yeah, we're kind of just our salaries are pretty good at this point. We had a bunch of big ones a couple seasons ago from the rebuild, but we're shedding them. We got a couple nice pieces. Caleb Cope is pretty solid, so we got some pieces, but not many good pieces.
Yeah, rebuilds don't happen, overnight. And yours started last year, definitely, because we definitely had a rough record last year, 45 and 117.
Yeah, we weren't good, man. We weren't good.
No, and you got a top 3 pick this year. I'm not sure who you took. I know you're going to do a draft preview.
Yeah, I took with the one of the two-way guys, so that's
yep.
cool.
Yeah, yep. So
Oh, you deep bull. I like those guys, but they're scary. I like them, but I
Dude,
hate them.
I can't quit them, man. I'll give me all of them.
they seem to be something that happens here in this league a lot because Kingston's got that guy now who's like MVP-ish, and Zach Coster, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Nick Kennedy we were talking about in this draft team,
Yeah, Nick Kennedy's
a
really good.
two-way
And then
guy.
I
And that's who
got
Boston just took, by the way. We were just on that team. We didn't mention him, but
I got Adamas, I think his last name is.
yeah, Adamas. Yep. So
He's two-way. I think my 2 first rounders last year were two-way guys. So
Yep.
they do pop up a lot here, it seems, which is kind of fun. I don't think they're ever
Yeah.
very good, but man, I can't not draft them.
Yeah, so the build starts for you. I mean, obviously, right now your system's ranked like 27 out of 28 teams, so you got a lot of work to do. That is only taking top 100 prospects into consideration.
Right.
Obviously, you can find depth outside of that as well. But yeah, I think the other teams in the division are kind of in the same spot you are, like Philly and Boston. That's all. I feel like there's like 3 rebuilding teams for sure. There's a couple mid teams in the Sapphire,
Yeah.
and then there's Montreal, who's gonna run things for a minute.
Yeah, just a bit. But shout out to Carl Symington, nicknamed the Plumber. So
Yeah, I like
that's
him.
cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
Great nickname. Which, when you're bad, you gotta cling on to something. So
Yep.
nicknames, baby.
I'd really love that player if his eye was just a little better too.
Yeah, his eye is terrible. If
Love
he
those
had
bars.
any eye, he'd be so cool. But such is life,
Yeah.
Real blue collar guy.
All right. Anybody with last thoughts on Kyle's team?
Well, if you know where you're going, go with it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Dad.
Who said that first? Buddha?
I don't know.
Gandhi?
I don't know. I just came up with it. Didn't know
man.
it was meant by somebody.
I'm just kidding. I don't know if it was. All right.
We can quote
All right.
it. If it isn't, we can quote it for me.
There you go.
There we
Great
go.
work.
Crispy. Yeah.
Uh,
all right. Why don't we rank this division up? That's kind of how we usually end.
do a preseason or our opening day. Way too early rank them. I'll go first.
Way too early rank them. Let's see if we get tricked by the standings.
We'll
Go ahead.
first. I was gonna actually look at the standings and just go, "Yep, that's the way it's gonna go." But I kind of do agree with it. I think Montreal's gonna take first, and I do think New York's gonna take second. I think it's gonna be Baltimore at third, Somerville at fourth. And a toss up between Lehigh, Boston, and Philly for the last 3.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, but what do you mean a toss up? What's your order? What kind of?
What's my order?
And then not give an order.
I gave you my somewhat
Lehigh,
order.
okay. Lehigh, Boston, Philly. That's what we're gonna put it as.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. All right, Michael, you want to go second?
Sure. Yeah, I think Montreal will win this division. I think New York might give them a run for their money. They'll probably make the playoffs as well. And then I think Baltimore, Somerville. I think Baltimore and Somerville are pretty close though. And then Philadelphia I'll have in 5th, Lehigh Valley 6th, and Boston 7th.
All right, and I'll go third. We'll give Kyle his division. We'll let him clean up. I'll go Montreal as well. I think it's their time. New York second, Baltimore. I'm gonna go Baltimore second. Steve, you got this. Steve, if you played for Blackhawks.
He's blackballing you, Steve.
No, I actually don't know. I'm gonna go Somerville third, New York fourth. I'm gonna go Boston 5th. I think Boston's on the up and up. I think Philly's 6th, and I think Lehigh is gonna be 7th. All right, what do you got, Kyle?
I'm gonna go Montreal. I was gonna take Baltimore second just as a like shocker, but you beat me to it. But I'll stick
Okay.
with it. I'll go Montreal, Baltimore,
All right.
New York, Somerville, Boston, myself, and then Philly.
All right. All right, that wraps things up for the Sapphire division, I think.
Sure
Do you guys
does.
need a couple of minutes here, or do you want to
Yeah,
move
give
on
me
to?
1 minute. I gotta grab a drink and go to the bathroom. So
All right, let me take a couple. 228. Start back up 235.
yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. Are you good, Kyle? You good, Mike? Alrighty. And we are back here with the TBL preseason opening day podcast, whatever you want to call it, right? And on to the J division, the second division here in the conference, the Ice Conference. And with our division champions, the Tampa Bay Cannons. That's what we're going to look at next. We'll see how Dick did last year, finally breaking through. And I want to say, like, that was definitely one of my big surprises of 2005 is how the Cannons finished. I thought they'd be a good team, but winning that really tough division, and not just winning it, but like doing it from start to finish was pretty surprising. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's pretty nuts, especially looking at his team right now. Like, it doesn't look like the best team, but man, last year was fun for him. Good for them. But I don't know if they can repeat this year. It's an early hot take, I guess. Maybe hot take? I don't know what you guys think, but
Well,
I'm not a big fan of their.
He lost Hector
What was that?
Campos. He lost Hector Campos, which is a
Yeah.
huge.
His like big guy.
Yeah, that was a big loss for him.
Yeah. And didn't replace him, I guess, really. Matt Purdy's
No, yeah.
nice, though.
I think he lost a few things too. I think he lost something else.
He
I feel
must
like
have.
I feel like Tampa Bay lost more war than any other team this
Yeah,
offseason.
they lost a lot.
That does sound
so.
familiar. Yeah.
Which
forgot to look at-
I know he got busy towards the end of the season. That's always a trick with a fantasy league, right? Like real life can come in and out and play a big part in success.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
but
you get busy at the wrong time.
yeah.
He's a yeah. What were you saying? Sorry, Kyle. I'll cut you off.
Oh, nothing. Go ahead. You're fine.
He's got like a great ace still, right? And Chris Carmody is.
Chris
Is
Carmody.
he not the ace?
No, his stuff's 30 right now, so I wouldn't say he's an ace. Well, that's just me. He might be your ace. He used to be really good, but he
okay. Yeah,
he's fallen off a cliff pretty hard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another part that's really gonna hurt him.
Yeah, he probably signed him as well. When did he sign him? Let's see.
He's got him for $28 million this year, so that's a huge impediment to success.
So he signed prior to the 2005 season when he was probably still really good.
Yeah. And he's got a player opt out next season as well, or player option, excuse me. So like he's probably gonna take that, I would guess.
I would if I was Mr. Carmody.
Yeah, unless he retires. So
yeah,
you're right. He doesn't throw 90 miles per hour anymore.
No, he dipped pretty hard. I think right after he signed him, which is the OOTP way. You know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dev down special.
Yeah, that's brutal. Brutal.
So I stand corrected. Omar Ramirez, maybe his ace at the moment, had a really good season last year.
Former Scrapple.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah.
Three-time All-Star. Looks like he won in 2001, 2003, both with Lehigh, and then returned last year, right?
Yeah, odd year special. So he's gonna take off this year from the All-Star game.
Yeah, he's off to a good start though. Maybe not.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a tough year for him this year. I don't think it's gonna be like the past couple for him.
He's got the best defensive catcher in the league, and a good, that supports the pitching staff. I'm always a proponent of a good catcher. Not a great bat, but I think that's okay. It's kind of hidden.
Catcher ability and everything else says everything about him that you need to know.
Yeah, and his bat's not like terrible. You know what I mean? It's not great, but it's not.
Exactly, it's not great, but it's not terrible. I'll take that all day for what he's got for defensive buyers.
Yeah, especially in this league where like catchers are, once again pretty not good. So.
Yeah, I think it will probably be a retooling year. This is a really tough division too, so.
Yeah, agreed. He overachieved last year, surprised everybody. I think this is the first year every year I've picked Tampa Bay to be competitive, and they've always disappointed me until last season when I didn't pick them just to reverse the jinx, and they won everything, right?
It's your fault, really.
Yeah, but But I feel like this is the first year they're not going to be super competitive, and maybe I'll get proven wrong. But I think this is a down year for the
Yeah, I
Canyons.
think you got to retool if you're in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
What's their
But
farm
he is also
system?
running a 6-man, which I want to shout out. The 6-man rotation
Mm.
is also, big fan.
Yeah. So yeah, the goal is get out from under the Carmody contract, right, and just kind of like
Ride it out
find that
until
future
then.
piece to build around. Yeah.
Yeah. His best prospect is in the majors right now. Justin Spittin' Bill Scott. So
This is Scott.
he's pretty
Yeah,
nice.
I don't know. I don't know if I like him being up so quick if you're not going to be competitive. I mean, I guess he's there, 45 and 70, but
Yeah, he's probably a year away from me personally, but
He
I
played.
say throw him out there.
yeah, you
Yeah,
can
man,
go either
call
way.
him up.
I can't
you're
criticize
nuts.
it. You can go either way.
You're nuts. Same
I
with Ron Blackwell, another guy that might be better off spending another year down. But
he's not.
he has some
He's
fun.
not. Is he in the? He's not in the.
No, he's in Double A right now.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
not.
you're
Yeah.
right. My bad. My bad. He's probably more ready than the other guy.
Mario Luna looks really good. It's his third
Yeah, I
prospect
like
there.
his farm.
Yeah, a lot of guys are pretty close, which is kind of nice. If you're like, it's more of a retool than a rebuild, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely a retooling son of a gun.
I will say one thing. I'm just gonna throw this out there. Dick is like the one guy who will let a free agent not get signed and walk to free agency. And I don't know if there's a strategy there or what, but like he's
Does
got a
he?
comp pick this year for a first. He didn't sign his first round pick last year. He's left a second and like a fifth on the table for, or maybe this year was a second. I don't remember. I'm getting shit mixed up, but quite a few have been Tampa. So I'm wondering what that's about.
And
Maybe just need to
waiting to
save a
get
little
your
more
guys.
budget space. Maybe you need to trade for some cash, or maybe you just don't like the guy for some reason. I don't know what his thoughts are. But anyways, last thoughts on Tampa?
It's going to be a retool year for him. I don't think he's going to be back to first place form like he was last season.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. Thumbs down for Tampa in the podcast, but that's okay. On to the next team. I
Which
think it
is-
was Atlanta.
You are correct.
Hey, all right. So Jason, the most successful GM in TBL history. We're gonna let him carry that title for a few years until it's not true anymore. Had another good season last year. Another 90-win team. Didn't get very far in the playoffs this year, but always dangerous.
Just always
And
there.
I don't know. I feel like they're finally maybe coming over the top of the hill, right, and heading in the other direction. But it's, I don't know. That's a bold statement, I think.
Yeah, it's probably on like the downward trend, but he still has like a lot of talent there, which is unfortunate.
It's not so much I don't like Atlanta as much as these other teams around him are just like really fucking good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Definitely a tough division.
I mean, if you look at Atlanta's 1 through 6, everybody in their lineups like highly touted prospects. Is that word right? Touted, tooted? I don't know.
It's touted. You were right.
Touted. Highly touted prospect. Thank you.
I like tooted better though. Highly tooted prospect.
Highly tooted prospect.
I'm with tooted as well. Keep it up.
And I touted.
Yeah.
I touted in my pants.
We're all on team tooted. But he's a team where there's a lot of free agents on this team. Like this is like last year of like Diego Orta and Jordan Brown. So he might be on the, one last run with his like original core.
Oh, expiring contracts, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and like Greg Gross has 2 more years, and then he's going to get a big contract. So it's interesting to see what he does after this year. He does have a lot of money on the IL right now, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, that is a tough call. Orta's only 30, right? And so is Brown.
Yeah. Yeah, he has some decisions to make.
Look at Kuramoto, how much he's asking for in arbitration, 40 million and then 45 million.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
he
know
signed
if
that
I
$35
don't know if
million
he's that good.
contract.
I think he's walking after the season. Maybe
Probably.
not. I
Good
don't think
old Duck
Jason pays
Breath.
him 40 million, do you? Or 39,
No,
or
he does not.
38.5, or whatever he can negotiate.
I hope he does because he's been hurt, I think, every season. So fingers crossed that,
Or
Jason.
I forget, did Jason try to opt out of this contract? I feel like something funky happened. He tried to like opt out of this contract, and then the dude like got his arbitration offer.
Maybe
I
that's
think
what
you're
it
right.
was.
Yeah, because I don't think he gave him 35 million. I think that was like some fucked up shit that happened. Excuse my language.
Maybe. Or like it was just like he signed like a 3-year deal, but it like because he's like on a rookie deal, it carried over or something weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
He was one of
Yeah.
those like international dudes that came over.
He's out for
and has
4 months
pitched.
right now.
Yeah, he pitched a total of 161 innings over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I'm surprised it was even that much. I don't remember that happening.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, I think Duck Breast might be the only reason Jason's not like a 3-time champion, maybe a 4-time champion. So I'm just kidding. That's obviously projecting. But when you have a $30 million dude on the like books and you're still like a deep playoff team every year, pretty scary. Like a
Yeah, it's
dud.
pretty impressive.
Excuse me.
Yeah. He is a scumbag though in real life, so he's not. He's a fine human being. I don't you know.
I know. It
him in
sounds like
real
you guys
life.
have a playful relationship. It's all good.
I've met him like twice, so we're like best friends. So
but no, he's got a ton of good pieces. So I think he'll be competitive again this year. Like I said, I think the end is nigh, and I think he's backed it up with his contract. I like the contracts, but he could retool and be competitive, easy, right?
yeah, he has some fun prospects too coming up. None are like real close, but there's
He's got the number 6, and
Victor Rios.
Yeah.
He is 6 seasons away. They're not 6, but a bunch.
I mean, he's not even a minor leaguer yet. He's
still
he's in the
international.
Anything could happen. And I don't even like him as a center fielder. Like his outfield isn't that impressive. He's just a really crazy bat.
Yeah, his bat's nuts, but he's probably a left fielder, right fielder.
Yeah.
DH type. First baseman. He's 6'4". He's a tall guy.
Yeah, he's a first baseman.
Yeah, let's be honest. He does have some infield stats, so he'd probably be like a actually pretty good first baseman if you care about that. Also, Danger Man's a cool nickname, which is something you look out for.
Yeah.
Just a preview on the draft podcast. It's a lot of nickname talk, so buckle up, everyone.
Okay, yeah. Anybody else have any thoughts on Smashers? Michael, were you saying something?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I still think they're pretty solid, and I expect them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're pretty solid, and I think they could make the playoffs. I'm not going to commit yet until I see these other teams. But yeah, no, I think they've got a good core, and I think they'll be competitive. I don't want to play them.
Yeah, barring any like crazy injuries, I think they're gonna be in the playoffs.
I think I think his starting pitching is kind of shallow. Like we haven't really talked about that, but I think that can hold the team back big time. He also took Hector Andrade from me. I was trying to get him in free agency, so Andy beat me. Andy beat me in the TBL championship, so fuck Jason.
Again, it's a scumbag. Definitely a scumbag.
No, he. I think his starting pitching is a concern. I think his lineup's really great. I think his bullpen's good.
Yeah, his pitching. Does he have like a true ace? Really, I guess Nathan Ostman is pretty good, but
I think his number 2 is out for 4 months.
Yeah.
Jason Holmes is out. Jason Holmes, his number 1, is out for 4 months.
4 months.
Well, his real number 1, Saburo Kuramoto, Duck Breast.
Yeah, he's out. Okay, sorry.
So his number 1 and his number 2 are out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
You could argue
Fonseca's
you could argue Fonseca. He's only got 3 days, but you could argue that's the number 3.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. On to the next one.
Yeah. Next team. Which was it? Do you know?
This must have been Galveston. Galveston's great. They're the most underrated team in the TBL.
I don't think it was Galveston. It was not Galveston.
It was Las Vegas, clearly.
It was not Las Vegas.
It was New Orleans. It was the Mudcats.
It's correct.
Orleans.
Yeah, Noah's team. Noah's had a really great team the last 2 seasons, and I think he has most of those pieces still.
Yeah. Doesn't he have the really disruptive team? Oh yeah, because he's got Marcelo.
He did last year. He had really tough chemistry.
Yeah.
He has Marcelo's
Disruptive.
band, who's disruptive.
I know
Corey
Steve Miller.
Byron is.
Steve Miller, who's ungodly good, but he doesn't have the best of traits.
He's not disruptive anymore. I feel like he used to be. I could be wrong about that.
He's still really good though.
Corey Pryon, who's disruptive, a second baseman.
Aaron Smith is selfish at third.
Yeah, he's conceited and selfish.
I actually really want Noah to win it all, to just dismiss this
I think
narration.
Gabe Whittington is just, yeah.
I want him to be the most hated team ever to win a championship. I want them to cancel the parade because no one wants to go celebrate.
Everyone hates each other, so.
Yeah, he has BJ Swartz, his only guy that's got good stuff to him. Crockett's not that great either. Yeah.
Honestly though, in terms of talent, New Orleans is the top.
Oh yeah,
4
it's
team.
it's an amazing team.
I'm surprised Marcelo Bland's still as good as he is at 34 years old.
That's pretty impressive.
I mean, he's put
in
up
all the preseason. I think in all the preseason predictions, they led the league in runs by at least 100 over the next second place team.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
Is this pitching good? It's not bad. There's some people there.
I think it's good enough with this offense.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But that's where it might come down for him.
Yeah, little suspect.
Yeah. But I mean, Jaden Williams is your number 3 starter.
Yeah.
That's a little problematic.
Interesting guy. Yeah, that's an interesting guy right there.
Yeah, fun profile for sure.
Might need to look for some depth.
And he did have a 4.68 ERA last year, which
last year,
yeah.
That's going to go up this
Looks
year.
like his number 4. Yeah. Looks like his number 4 starter pitched 1 inning and then got hurt.
Yeah, 7 weeks out. That's not great.
Yeah, that's rough. Still above 500 though.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a playoff contender, I think. Just because those bats will carry him for.
Yeah, Steve Miller and his band is what I like to say.
Yeah, funny.
Good one.
I mean, I really like Aaron Smith, who was a trade this offseason, right?
I think
with
so.
Las Vegas. So, I mean,
yeah.
New Orleans scored a fucking billion runs last year. It was you know what? I think I need some more offense.
I need more bats. Give me.
Yeah, go one of the best third basemen in the league.
Yeah. But again, selfish.
And Aaron Smith's off to a great start.
He really is. 10 more pace.
I think that's what he's doing with this team. I think he is. He's trying to get a team full of assholes because we do have a theory on this game is it's usually the guys that have the best buyers that you see on there and you're like, oh man, and then you look over at his all his traits and it's he is disruptive and he is greedy. It's oh man.
To be greedy when you're great. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I think if you win, you can have selfish players. I don't think they're happy as long as you win.
Yeah, you just got to keep winning because I think I think it's real easy. Once you lose, then everything kind of goes to hell.
It snowballs.
I
Yeah.
was looking in
Yeah.
the manual too, and like a lot of these traits, they affect development. So like if you're already at the major league level, I'm not worried about it, right? As much.
No.
But like if you have a bunch of disruptive guys in your minor leagues and you're trying to like bring up prospects through that, that's a different story. So it's just about managing like where you put these guys in your organization. And
Yeah,
the
I
and the
think if you
balance
have
of
like
how many you have.
like captains and leaders you have.
Yeah. I like their shortstop too. Like, I definitely wish his range was just Gabe Winnington. Actually, he's not even starting, is he? Who's his starting shortstop? Joe Johnson. Click in Joe
Johnson,
Johnson.
yeah.
Oh, well, I wouldn't do that personally. I don't think he is because he hasn't played in a
Is he hurt?
game.
No.
No, I would look
No?
at Gabe Winnington on the left under position rankings because
Yeah.
I think that's the shortstop.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
He was on my team.
Yeah.
He was okay.
So he's a free agent signing, yeah. So I like him as well. I guess he hasn't performed well, and that's just me
He's
being
not a good
wrong.
hitter.
Yeah.
He's not a good
No,
hitter.
real bad hitter.
I think he's worth the 2
Negative
million or
warm up.
whatever he's making though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's worth the 1.8 mil.
I agree with that.
Good
He's a
utility guy.
good defensive piece.
Yeah, he's like fourth outfielder slash backup everything.
And looking at New Orleans,
Is
looking at
Joe Johnson? Oh, he got Joe Johnson as a shortstop and a setup pitcher. Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
A two-way
that's
guy.
fun.
Look at a two-way guy here.
He's a two-way guy here.
It's tough to have a two-way guy be a position like a position player and reliever because they never come in
I
as a
wonder
reliever.
if Noah even knows he's like set up on two-way. He probably does, but like
No,
I can see it. Like he wasn't signed since like he hadn't played since 2004, so maybe he was just like a free agent signing that was like set that way.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
He's not
Noah
a bad
doesn't have
pitcher.
Noah doesn't have too much in his system, but that kind of makes sense because he's pushed a lot of assets. I feel like to get some of these really great players.
Yeah, he's on the opposite of a rebuild.
Yeah,
He's just
he's
like
going
trading
for it.
everything for. Yeah.
I mean, he's been back-to-back conference championship losses, so he's just right there, you know.
In there.
He's got like a relief pitcher that might be close, but
yeah, John Powell's.
yeah,
About it?
yeah, John Pals, yeah, he's injured right
Borderline
now.
Yeah.
starter. He's got 4 pitches. He could start one day, maybe. No.
Also,
Borderline starter.
spoiler, he's selfish, so checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfectly like that.
Fits right in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Come to
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We only think about ourselves.
Yeah. Any last thoughts on Noah's team?
Great team,
No.
selfish. Just
Yeah,
selfish.
I'm gonna watch him all year, see how he does, just see how like the attitudes
Yeah.
manage out.
I would honestly put them on my short list for winning the championship too. Like I think Montreal's on that short list. Anybody can jump up and surprise you, but like Montreal wouldn't surprise me, and New Orleans like
Right.
wouldn't surprise me. They have that much talent. So.
Yeah, they're a tick behind Montreal for me though in those overall power rankings. I think.
Yeah, Montreal's got just a little more of a complete team, I think.
Yeah.
Personalities included.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next?
Who do you think?
I'm
Who came
afraid
in
to
fourth?
guess.
Who was in fourth? Give her a guess. Come on, you can think about it. They had a game
I'm gonna guess-
163.
Oh, shit.
I gave
believe
you a
in you.
hint. I gave you a hint.
Who won that game? Las Vegas.
That's correct.
All right. Las Vegas winning
There
in
you go.
game 163. Now I remember how this played out. Yeah. Game 163 last season. Las Vegas is, I think, the team to be scared of in this division.
Yeah,
Moving
they're
forward.
good, eh?
They're super good, and they've got like more pieces coming up. They're like not done.
Man. Must be nice.
They got that Verdugo over there, left fielder.
What a beast he is.
Yeah, Zach has done a pretty good job since coming in, really keeping the momentum going with this team because it started off as a project. It was the initial way it was drafted. Year one, the GM was like flipping at prospects, and he's kept it going, and he's got some of the best teams. Verdugo is, I think, one of the best players in the league. Great nickname, since we're talking about nicknames, right, Kyle? Sugar? Can't hate
Yo,
that.
don't step on my toes. All right, this is my bit.
Take it away. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Great nickname. It's Sugar. Just so you know. Also, Marcos Cepeda, the Goblin. You're welcome, everyone.
Yep. Don't forget Randy Scott, please. I'm not gonna step on your toes, but you should.
Hang on, Randy Scott. Let me bring it up. Ooh, Godzilla, man, I love this team. I'm gonna get a
High Rollers jersey. This is wonderful.
I think Las Vegas though has the best lineup.
Yeah, lineup's pretty absurd.
Yeah.
And they have another one of those shortstops that are like just this might actually be the best shortstop in the league. Alex Sabezas.
I don't know if I agree with you there. Like 35 contact, that's pretty hard to overcome. This guy may hit like 180. He may be the best defense.
Yeah, but he still had a 2 WAR with batting 186. That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing for sure.
Yeah.
16 zone rating last year.
Yeah, that's freaking nuts.
Honestly, if he digresses even a little bit, can hit 150? I don't think that's really that feasible.
No, but it helps Willie Fonseca. His young ace. He's 24. God damn.
Yeah. Yeah, Fonseca's really, really good.
Yeah. Man, what a fun team. What a good team.
Yeah, this team is crazy because it has the hitting prospects, it has the pitching prospects. They're all here at the same time.
Yeah. And the second best prospect in the league is in AAA, just waiting. Who's also pretty good. And Sean Hall. No nickname. Bump him down the list a little bit, but he's almost ready too. So
yeah.
The rich are going to get richer.
Team. This is my favorite team in the ICE conference. I feel like we were both kind of rebuilding around the same time, and they were always just ahead of me as far as having a better farm system. And I think they've done a really good job at developing these guys.
Yeah, he's really good.
And he's not afraid to flip things. He just flipped Aaron Smith to New Orleans, right? Who's going in the opposite direction. Aaron Smith was a stud on this guy's team last year, on Zach's team.
Yeah, no, it's what you got to do when you have so many pieces. Though it's easy to move on from somewhere.
Yeah,
and he still has a number 2 prospect as well.
Yeah,
that's close to ready.
Looks so he can plug that. He can plug that hole easy, but he took in for that trade.
Yeah. Also, his second best prospect has a nickname of Skogs, so keep an eye for Skogs.
Yeah, man, this is an incredible team. Is his first time making the playoffs last season as well?
I think it was. I think it was the first time the franchise had gotten there. I mean, again, they were in. But they've arrived, and he's added some older guys, like Randy Scott, to make that push this year and try to get a little deeper than he did this year.
Yeah.
I personally have Las Vegas is on.
He's down a pitcher though with Ben Johnson.
Yeah. Injury?
Yeah, 10 months.
10 months.
He's
just a prospect.
That's rough.
He's just a baby.
Was it his rookie year too? Nope, it wasn't.
I mean, the bigger injury is TJ Mills there. I know he's just a relief pitcher, but
it's still bad to see.
Dude's gonna be gone for a minute.
Hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
Hate to see it.
Alejandro Martinez, he's getting back in 4 weeks, but he's a great player too. He's on the DL.
Yeah.
Just nonstop here. All right. Yeah, what do you guys think? Any other thoughts on
They're just over here blasting home runs, leading the ice conference. It looks like with 17 of them.
17 already. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I
And
think
like the
they've been.
second best starters ERA. So
Yeah, I think they are a much more balanced team than New Orleans, and they have a lot of really great pitching as well as offense. I would
Yeah.
expect them to win this division.
Ooh, hot take.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's a hot take.
Yeah,
When we give our predictions here in a second,
I don't
we'll
know.
agree.
That's why I say it.
Yeah.
That's why I say it. I'm also kind
I
of
think it's a
dumb.
pretty
They have
cold take.
They have a lot of room to still further develop and get even better too, because they're very young.
Yeah, and a little cash wiggle room to make a move still.
Yeah, there's some money left. So
Yeah. And in terms of future years, this team has like 30 million invested in development, 10 million in scouting. So if they want to dip into that at any point,
they can.
Absolutely. The one thing I will say about this team that's a little interesting, Zach's approach, he's not afraid to lock guys up. He's got a couple contracts here where guys are locked up for 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Some of these guys are really good. He's got them on long contracts. That's actually kind of crazy.
Good for him though.
Yeah.
That Vega deal looks great. He's only making 12 million.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to sprinkle in those team options. I'm seeing he's got double team options back-to-back years on a couple contracts.
Good way to do it. Good way to do it.
All right. Anybody else you guys want to highlight the team, or any last thoughts on the Las Vegas High Rollers?
Like this team
I
a
think
lot.
we've gushed over them enough, so we can move on.
Yeah.
We can definitely
Yeah. Let's move on. We're done with you, Zach.
Great team.
Next, I'm going to take a bold prediction. And say
What's your prediction?
it was Galveston was the next team, 5th place.
Okay, you're correct. So you kind of cut out on me.
Galveston. Okay, yeah, Galveston and Matt. As I said, the most underrated team in the big league that nobody talks about, and he's been pretty good year after year ever since rebuilding.
Yeah.
Year after year, I should say 2 years in a row. But
he just missed out
last
year.
Yeah, 2004. He wins 89 games in the playoffs. Last year, he improves his team and he misses the playoffs.
It's
kind of funny the way
that's rough.
It works. Yeah.
Yeah, missing the playoffs with winning 91 games too at that.
That's pretty nuts.
So long off season for him.
Yeah, I mean he's got a really great player. I think in Brown. I think Jeff
Brown
got a pretty bright future. 25 years old. I think he's going to play really well as third base. I have better defensive ratings than you do for OSA for Jeff Brown, although he's not going to be able to play any other position except for third.
He's a third baseman.
I have way better everything than OSA. I've got him almost fully developed. I've got him 75 to 80 right now. Excuse me.
Well,
you're excused. Yeah, he's pretty well rounded too. His pitching is not the best, but he has enough dudes there to make it work with that offense,
Yeah, I love his top 3 starters. I think that's one of his biggest strengths.
Yeah.
Yeah, his cleanup hitter, Jason Gartz, has been a pretty good guy in the league for a couple of years. He is getting older, though, so...
He's 35. Former Scrapple as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Todd Father. Oh my God, that's the best.
Love it.
I love that one.
Let's see.
Did Galveston lose anybody this offseason?
I don't know.
We'll have to find out.
I like their second baseman, Mike Anderson, quite a bit.
He's
He's
pretty
super
nice.
fast. He's pretty good defense for second base.
Was he in the?
Yeah.
Was that guy in the Matrix too? Mr.
Mr. Anderson.
No,
Did we
Very
ever get a
timely
first name?
That guy's name was Eugene, I think. Eugene Anderson.
Oh, damn it!
pretty
They
topical.
are
Good.
they are predicted to win 100 games, which is the best of any ice conference team.
That's pretty wild. It is, as looking at their financials, they're like a lot of their best dudes is like another last year of the deal for like Lugo, Robertson, Anderson. So you could have a bunch of fun decisions after the season here.
I mean, if you do look at the preseason predictions too, Josh Clark is rated a top in the ice conference. So is Isaiah Alexander. So is Lugo. So like he's got 3 of the 10 top pitchers in the ice according to the predictions.
Believe it. I could see them. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what this team does. I could see them finishing anywhere from like 4th to 1st. I could see them winning the division.
Yeah,
It's a fun team.
it's a tough. This is a tough division.
It is a real tough division.
I struggle so much to think that this team could compete with Las Vegas or New Orleans, but I feel like they're going to, and I'm just going to be wrong. Like on paper, it doesn't look like they should be able to.
Well, if you look at their offensive team
I don't know.
stats ratings too, they're first in everything.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 13 games in, but yes.
Don't care.
Hey man, if we can't make decisions about small sample sizes, when can we make decisions?
Yeah, I mean seriously, they're.
We might as well just give Galveston the cup now. Like, let's just start
Might as well.
2007.
Yeah.
There's no stopping this offense.
I'm going to
No.
propose this year we change the season to 1 game.
Let's make it like 13 games. We'll do 1 sim,
Yeah.
and
There you go.
Start the off season.
yeah.
How are we gonna get this draft done?
It'll be 27 games. Everybody plays everybody once.
There you go. We'll just pause the season for like 2 weeks so we can draft, and then we'll be good to go.
All right, we're getting distracted. Let's see. What else can we say about Matt's team here? Go
I
ahead.
think this is a division that could see 4 playoff teams.
Yeah.
I think he has a good chance to make the playoffs. If he does, that rotation is very scary. I think he could really make a run at it.
His bullpen is a little suspect, though. Just kidding. I lie. It's really good.
Yeah.
I was
gonna say.
I lied to you.
All lefties and elite.
Yeah, they're really good. I scrolled
think
down to their
Alexander and Liller might be the best 8-9 setup, setup closer combo.
Yeah, they're really good
in the league.
Oh.
I think them in Montreal maybe might be the best.
Yeah.
Montreal's bullpen's pretty nuts. Yeah, I think it's a well-rounded team. But this division is just so tough, so tough. It's tough to like plant my flag and that they're gonna win it, you know.
Yeah. I think we're all gonna give our predictions, and Galveston might get shortchanged, and then we'll see how they do. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'm not gonna speak for anybody here. We'll see how it all plays out, and we'll see how Matt does this season. Looking at his system, does he have anybody worth talking about coming up?
He's got a pitcher, Jason Moats, but he's not there yet.
He's got 3 pitchers right there that are all kind of close.
Yeah,
Williams and Russell.
This guy probably could be a reliever right now, honestly. I'd put him in the bullpen if you're missing a piece in the bullpen.
Yeah, Jay Russell, he has at Double-A. He's almost ready.
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
I like Russell. Yeah, I think he's.
Yeah. You know, in case of injury, I'd bring him up maybe this year if you need to, but.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's got a lot of. I mean he's got a pretty good amount. 21 top 500 guys, although it's not everything, right? But a lot healthier than we've seen some systems. So
Yeah, some pieces to move if he wants to make some deals.
okay. Any last thoughts?
Just another great J, J division team.
Yeah, one of many.
One of many. Because we've gone through
Yeah,
5
I mean
already, Joe.
we're already down to the 6th team, and we've got some pretty good teams.
Yeah, I know
That's pretty
exactly.
wild. It's pretty nuts.
I think 6th place last year was. I actually don't know. I think it was Fort Collins.
You're incorrect.
It was Denver.
It was correct.
Wow,
Right.
great second guess there, man. Great second
Thanks.
guess.
So yeah, I brought in Jay. I played with Jay in another. Going to be his first full season, I think. I think he joined mid-season last year. He's already made some pretty nasty trades. I think he gets some good assets off of New York. He's continuing the Denver rebuild. I think the future for this franchise is going to be pretty bright. But right now, I think they're a bad team.
Yeah, there's a definite line in this division of like the haves and have-nots, and I think we would have crossed that line right here. You know?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The Denver is a have-not. They have a ways to go to build up the future and become a contender.
Yeah, but
They have a few pieces. I mean, they did just sign superstar Hector Campos from the Tampa Bay Cannons.
Yeah, he's got him
yeah,
playing at second base. I wonder why he's got him playing at second base.
They almost did the
usage.
same thing.
Because I was going to grab him as a third baseman.
He's got Rob Coffey at third, so that's probably why.
Yeah, but he's not
Yeah.
he's not a better third baseman in my opinion.
No.
Yeah, but Rob
Does he
Coffey
have
can't
someone
play
first?
anywhere else except for at first. I mean, as
Who's
the first
first?
baseman. First baseman's a
Yeah.
nice looking prospect.
But he
Yeah,
can
he
put
is.
Actually,
one of them
guy's a
in.
rookie.
Put one of them.
George England's a rookie first baseman prospect.
Put him as a DH maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, he has a lot of like bats,
Mhm.
not enough spots to put him at. Looks like, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Nunez and England and Coffey. So
yeah, Nunez
makes
is
sense
really
to me.
good. Yeah, a lot of pieces, a lot of not enough defensive spots to put them all. But
Yeah.
what did our pitching staff look like? Anyone fun there?
Tommy
Actually,
Ventura.
Actually surprised he just extended Coffey.
Yeah,
Good
'cause
Coffey
he was
for
he's
4
not
years.
that.
Yeah.
He was a first round pick, wasn't he? Or like early second round pick? Oh, fifth round pick. Never mind. I thought he was better early on in the league, but
It's definitely a name that you kind of like. Got some name
yeah,
recognition.
I think he dropped because he's disruptive. That makes sense. That's why he was talked about a lot early on because he was a bad dude. But he's also
Denver's
33
pitching
now.
staff. Denver's pitching staff is just garbage.
He's only
Yeah,
got
not great.
only thing he's got is Tommy the Milkman Ventura.
Dude, you're killing me.
Sorry. I'm a big fan
Okay.
of the nicknames as well.
The Milkman is pretty solid.
Yeah,
In Denver
captain.
too.
I think the highlight for Denver is definitely their farm system, which is like by far the best one of any team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is what?
He has
11 in the top 100.
He's got 4 in the top 15.
That's really
Yeah,
good.
Or 3 in the top 15, I should say.
5 in the top
Also,
21.
Mike High being in Denver is pretty fun because
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, a lot of first baseman prospects though, which is not how you would want them. But if you can get them, I guess why not, right?
I don't know if you click into Mike, if you can definitely check out his nickname.
Who am I? Oh, Mile. Oh yeah, because that's right. It was requested upon that. That's right.
Yeah.
It was a commish edit. But yeah,
Phil Ford here looks like a decent prospect. What's his nickname, Kyle?
Phil Ford. Let me bring him up. Let me bring him up. Oh, freaking off. Mr. Clara. I have no idea. Waya?
Leah?
Clara? Waya? I don't know.
Waya? Yeah, I don't either. It's a weird one. But he looks
I like
decent.
it though. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, his
I don't know.
prospects are pretty nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of like where Las Vegas was a couple seasons ago. Just all this potential, and you just don't know when it's going to like pop, and then all of a sudden he's going to be a contender, right?
Yeah, and like he's doing like he's zigging while like the top 5 are zagging. So if you're gonna be good when the rest are hopefully on their decline, this is like a good way to do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really like Jesus Roman. He's only got 3 pitches, but he's in AAA already. He's pretty close.
Yeah.
And
He's
he's got a
real close.
nickname as well. Probably the best nickname in all of TBL.
Oh, meow. He's adorable. I love him. Yeah,
All right.
this is a fun team.
Yeah.
Fun prospects he has, a bunch of them, so. Brighter days ahead in Denver.
Yeah, I really like what this newer GM has done so far, and I definitely think they have a bright future.
I do miss the old GM though. I'm just throwing that out there.
Something in here for it.
Yeah, Joe, we miss you so much. In case you ever watch these podcasts, I know you probably
Yeah.
do.
Thank you for
Call
the
them.
schedule. Thank you for the schedule, Joe.
Miss you, Joe. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
I also miss you, Hemlock, in case you're listening.
Yeah, I was referring to Hemlock. I forgot about the other one. So
Hemlock.
that's on me for not
Jay-
specifying.
Jay can win 5 championships, but he'll always be the 3rd greatest Denver GM.
Yeah, this is true. Man. Hopefully, what a time.
Hemlock is definitely number 1.
Yeah,
those-
he might be the best
He's
owner.
the best. He was the best. If
You-
you're here for
You
Hemlock.
called Jason the best GM ever in the league, but it was Hemlock, man.
It was Hemlock.
Hemlock was, yeah. He was, what a guy.
All right. I think that wraps it up, except for the last team.
The last team,
Fort
which
Collins
was
Roosters. My
Which
bad.
was
My bad. I spoiled
You're
it.
just standing here real quick.
Fort Collins.
Which was Fort Collins, Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle number 2.
Yeah. K2.
KFC. Kyle
Yeah.
Fort Collins.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, Kyle's team's bad too.
Yeah, this is
I
another
think
have not.
yeah, he's become a have-not. He was a have.
Yeah, the first
Um,
couple seasons.
Yeah, he was really good the first few.
And I mean, he's intentionally become a have-not. He traded away his superstar Bill Bryce and maybe
It says
some
he
other
doesn't
pieces.
have a right fielder right now at the moment.
Yeah, he's right
Yeah.
fielderless.
Wow. Come on,
which
Kyle.
is
Good strategy.
playing with 8 in the field there. No
Yeah,
wonder they're so
man,
bad.
Only 3 outfielders on the roster. Maybe some of these infielders can also play outfield. He actually only has. He doesn't even have a starting left-handed pitcher lineup right now.
I mean, he does have Edkin playing right field, but he doesn't even show up there. He's not even on the top
That's-
players.
Hmm.
That's
He's playing
pretty
well
funny.
too.
He's 7-6.
Yeah, 357.
That's pretty good.
He's,
Hey,
I mean,
guys,
overall, he's 7-6.
Wait. This is a small sample size.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can
Love
we
it.
get the attitude?
Well, I mean, looking at his whole team though, he doesn't have great assets, right?
No.
No, he's pretty bare at the major league level. Kyle Lacey, probably get something for him. He's not
Yeah.
terrible.
Off to a slow
But-
start, but he's like, I agree, Kyle Lacey's pretty quality.
Yeah, he's
Maybe-
definitely a piece you could move.
Maybe just a first baseman though, right? He's playing third base, but can't turn him
Yeah, I'd put him at first probably. How tall is he? 6 foot? Maybe not.
Yeah.
He can play at third if you have to.
He could flip that closer. 34 years old, Carmine Calabrese. I would sign him if I was in contention.
Yeah. for sure. He does have a pair of young, fun pitchers, of Cunningham and Adam Kick. Adam Kick? I don't know. They're pretty fun, especially Adam Kick. He's a young, fun guy.
Adam Chick. I don't know.
Whatever. There's no, yeah. We can go back and forth all day. None of us are right because there's no. These aren't real players. So
He's not real.
What?
He's not real, and he can't tell us his real name.
exactly.
I'm a real boy.
He actually pronounces the C with a L. It's Adam Lick.
Adam Lick.
Yep.
Oh, thanks.
Again,
Another
can't prove you
fourth
wrong. So
He tweeted him out.
Yep.
yeah,
He let us know.
but he does have a
Um,
lot of fun prospects. though. For getting back on track,
Yeah.
He's a lot of good dudes. He has what?
He did have several first round picks, I feel like a draft or two ago.
I think last draft. That sounds right.
His number one pick or his number one prospects, Andre Crawford, 20-year-old lefty.
Lumber.
Former Huron. I drafted
Oh,
him in the
yeah.
first round.
Look at you.
Ooh, trade with Huron. Look at that.
Yeah, he does have quite a few top 100 picks too.
Yeah,
Jamie
by-
Lindahl's close. He looks great.
yeah, he does. Definitely has a good mix down there too. They're not all first basemen like Denver. You know, there's some position players out there.
I think the thing I worry about with Kyle's prospects though is like I feel like some other teams in this division definitely rival his system or have a lot of really good depth. Like we just talked about Denver, and then we've got teams right now with young cores, and it's like, are these guys ever going to be like a Verdugo or like some of these guys that we see at the major league level? Maybe they will. They got to get there first, and Las Vegas like has those pieces. So
Oh, for sure.
tough to see when Fort Collins is going to be back in the mix
Yeah.
for me.
He has
Anyway.
dead last in payroll, so he could add some free agents.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. That's not nothing.
Yep. Bring up a couple
Go
young
sign
guys
it.
who are going well, and then just dip hard in the free agent.
Yeah.
Yep. And he does have 28 top 500 prospects.
Yeah, there's
There's a lot of
definitely enough down there.
Yep. Yeah, that was pretty quick. Anything else on Fort Collins?
Just keep rebuilding.
Yeah. Keep on.
Very active in trade talks, so
Yep.
I feel like good GM. I feel like they probably won't be very good this year, but I feel like they're headed in the right direction.
I think
Yeah, for sure.
I think the real missing piece for Kyle, that one thing that's going to put him over the top. He just needs to read one commissioner announcement, and if he does that, I have all the faith in the world that he's going to just
Yeah, if
take
he
off.
reads one of them,
Damn.
Yeah.
he gets one reaction. He might get like a bonus 5 wins or something like that. I don't know.
All right, I think that's the end of the ice conference. So why don't we rank up the Jade division here?
I went
And
first
then we
last
will rank
time,
up.
so
That's good. Yeah,
I'll go
we'll
last.
see. We'll predict our wild card after we do the Jade division. So, yeah, why don't you start with this one, Kyle?
All right. I will go Las Vegas. Then give me Galveston.
Ah,
I know, right? Then New Orleans, Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and then I don't know, Denver and Fort Collins.
All right. I'll go second. I'm going to go with New Orleans. No, I'm not. I'm going to go Las Vegas. And then I'm going to go New Orleans. And then I'm going to go Galveston. Then I'm going to go Atlanta. We're all going to disrespect Jason. And then I'm going to go Fort Collins. And then I think Denver. And then I think Tampa Bay is going to go from first to worst. All right, Michael, why don't you take number 3?
All right, I've got Las Vegas in first, New Orleans in second, Atlanta in third, who just joked about trading for Jim Green in the
In the chat.
Slack. So,
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if he did.
yeah. And
It's just not
breaking news: I have Galveston as fourth. But I mean, those top four. This is such a strong division, probably the strongest one in this league. So it's really hard to predict these top four. And then I'll give Denver fifth. I really like what they're doing. Tampa Bay, unfortunately, I think is sixth, and then Fort Collins is seventh.
All right. And Chris is going to lead you last. What do you got?
I think I'm agreeing with everybody with Las Vegas at first. They're taking the division and then I have second, I have Galveston. In third, I have Atlanta.
All right.
In fourth, I have New Orleans. I think they're gonna crumble to the end with their disruption. Tampa fifth, and I have Fort Collins sixth, and Denver in last place.
Cool. All right. And so I'm going to highlight some of my little spreadsheet of keeping track here. The top two teams that everybody picked here. But why don't we start with you, Michael? What do you think are going to be the two wildcard teams? You had Baltimore and Somerville, Atlanta and Galveston as your 3-4.
Yeah, I think Atlanta and Galveston will be the two wild cards.
All right. And Kyle, you had New York, Somerville, New Orleans, and Atlanta as your 4.
What was that one more time?
You had New York, Somerville, 3-4, and you had New Orleans, Atlanta.
Right. Give me Atlanta and New Orleans.
All right. Chris, what about you?
Who do I have?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you have Baltimore and Somerville, and then you have Atlanta and New Orleans.
Yeah, it's gonna be Atlanta and New Orleans.
Everybody's hating on the Sapphire.
Yeah.
And I have Somerville, New York, and I have Galveston, Atlanta. I'm going to say Atlanta. I'm going to go with Galveston and Somerville.
There we go.
Nope, I'm going to go
Sapphire
Somerville,
love.
New York. I'm going to go straight. I'm going to go 4 Sapphire.
Woo!
You're wild.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Wild.
Crazy.
Cool. And who do you guys think might come out of the Ice Conference as a champion this year? As a conference champion, excuse me.
Ooh, Montreal.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, I would say Las Vegas. I don't want to disrespect Montreal though; they're also really good. But I would go Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'll go New Orleans just to keep it different. Cool. All right. So that's the end of the Ice Conference. I'm going to leave it up to you guys if you want to continue on, or we can always regroup and pick up the Fire Conference later. Chris, why don't you wrap us up on mute? We'll take like at least a 10-minute break if we do continue, and see what we want to do.